All right, I hope you guys are extremely excited for the webinar that you've signed up for. This process, this part is just to help consumers understand exactly how to get your credit report. I wish I didn't have to do an explainer video, that it was just that simple, but unfortunately it's not. In preparation for this video, it took 2 hours to even get a copy of the credit report. Some things that you need to know in order for this to be a smoother process is: 1, they don't make it easy. 2, you got to have a credit card with your name on it. If you don't, then there is an option, but you want to fast forward to the part where it talks about getting the free credit reports. It takes a little bit longer, but it's something that you're going to have to do because you cannot order your credit reports online without a credit card in your name. And prepaid credit cards and debit visas do not count. As well, you want to make sure that you're on the Canadian site, so .ca on everything. And to save you some time, if you have ever ordered your credit report, what you want to do first step is click the sign in. Even if you can't remember the process, even if it's been a long time ago, you have to start with this. Now, usually your username is your email. If you cannot remember your password, then use the forgot username, password, and get started on this process already, so you don't have to duplicate a lot of it. Because if you have ever ordered anything online with Equifax or TransUnion, just go to the forgot password and go through it there. You will have to call a number most likely to verify your ID, unless you're the lucky one and you get through or you remember your password. But just to save you some time, if you've done anything before with them, then you gotta go through that process. If you have never ordered your credit report before, then I will go through that process with you. Now, there's lots of ways to get your credit reports, and some of them are free, which I'll go over in a second. But if you want an immediate credit report, one that you can download, then you have to purchase that with your credit card. So there's different programs here. The first 2 are monthly programs, which I generally don't suggest, because I'm going to teach you everything you need to know for the credit so that you can protect your credit, your identity, and monitor and all that stuff throughout the different programs that I offer, so you don't always have to pay $20 or $17 a month. The one-time purchases, these are the options here. If you don't want to score, it's cheaper. You don't need to have your credit score in order to have the webinar be a benefit for you. However, we will be talking about the credit score, and a lot of people are focused on the credit score. So if that's you, then you can grab the credit score. It's just going to cost you a little bit more. So normally I'm a big fan of not signing up for the monthly programs and just paying extra. That way you know that it's done and over with. But Equifax and TransUnion will offer out a little temptation here. What you can do is you can purchase the monthly program and then cancel right away. So as long as you cancel right away and you don't do it for multiple months, it's a cheaper program to get everything that you're looking for. So this will include the score. This program, you can pull your credit score as many times as you want, so you can kind of see how each thing affects the credit score on what you're doing. This one you get to pull every 3 months, and this plan, you definitely want to make sure that you are closing it or paying it off unless you're okay with the money going out the door every month. So you decide what you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. It won't affect the program at all. But the process is very similar regardless of which one you go for. So pick one. First thing you do is you put in your information. The verify ID, the next step here. So just like any other online profile, you want to set up your information, security information. And then you jump down and you go right into the payment. And then once you're done, you just accept the terms and conditions. And then by clicking this box, you're agreeing to everything else that they want you to do and accept the terms. All right, so now that you've gone through all of that fun, the next part is verifying your ID. Go through the questions, answer them as best as possible. I want you to understand that if you don't pass this skill testing questions, even though you're answering the truth, that just means that you have errors on your credit report. And it's even more crucial that you get these sorted out. And if you have answered them correctly, or if you have passed the test, then what will happen is you will get to the confirmation screen. Of course, they'll ask you if you want to upgrade, submit the order. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've succeeded in getting in. There's lots of different things you can play around with. Feel free to do that. But in preparation for the webinar, you're going to want to print your credit report. That way you have it in front of you and you don't have to deal with usernames or some kind of tech issue. Just go down to the bottom of the screen where it says print credit report. And when you print that, it will come up in this version. And this is what we're going to be going through for the webinar. Print this page, have it in front of you, and then we'll be ready to go. So as soon as you signed up for the webinar, an email was sent out. It has a bunch of links. One of the links is for the free credit report. When clicked, that brings you to here. And then what you got to do is pick which credit report you're wanting for free. Maybe you purchased one and you just want the other one for free, or maybe you want both for free, but you click on whatever one you're looking for. Now it is very important that for both credit reporting agencies that you put your full legal name. So if you've changed your name, then you put whatever that legal name is, not what your buddies call you or whatever the case may be. The other thing is you want to make sure that you put in your previous addresses. Even if you've been at the current address for more than 3 years, it's always good to put the previous address because you never know if the system's going to catch that new one or not. Social insurance number, it is optional. I do suggest it because of the fact that sometimes there's multiple versions of you in the credit system, and without the SIN number, it's sometimes hard to find you. Date of birth, pretty obvious. Just make sure it's month, date, year. And if you're just putting in the numbers, make sure that you follow that. Otherwise, you may not get a credit report. If you make mistakes on this, on either of the ones, they're not going to call you. You're not going to get a notification. All you're going to do is get nothing. And you're going to be sitting there wondering if the credit report's coming or not. So you want to make sure that you print very, very nicely and clearly. And if you can't do that, then find someone who can, because if they can't read it, your request is just going to get shredded. Another reason why many people don't get their credit reports is because you have to make sure that you have the appropriate supporting documentation that they're looking for. So you have to have the 2 pieces of government issued identification, driver license, birth certificate, any of that stuff. If it has a picture of you, even better. Just make sure that the copies that you are sending them readable. If you have to go to Staples or wherever to get the copy done so that it's done properly, it's worth the time to do that. Otherwise, you're just sitting around waiting for a document that never is going to come. One of the supporting documents that you provide has to have a current address on there. So if you have changed and you haven't changed your drivers yet, then what you want to do is make sure that you include a utility bill or a bank statement, something that's official that has your current address on there. Showing your rental contract or some other contract that's maybe not that official probably won't help you. So you want to make sure that it is a utility bill and make sure that it includes your name and the address, and don't block anything out. Okay, this is Equifax and TransUnion. They have all your information anyways, so you don't have to worry about the privacy with them. So these reports are sent to you by mail, and they say that it should take 5 to 10 days. However, I've never seen it happen that fast. You're generally looking between 30 and 45 days. So if you've paid for the course and it's happening probably before the time that you get it, then one thing that you can do is you can talk to me. I'll see what I can do to help speed things up or give you credit for the next presentation, as we're doing this on a regular basis. Equifax also suggests that you can add your credit card information to get the score. Like I said, this is not necessary for the presentation that we're going to be doing. If you want it, you can have it, but I don't suggest it. TransUnion's the exact same information. You'll also have to do the identification, and it's very important that you send both the front and the back of your ID.